the news that's fit to print.
Welcome to the University of Oakmont. How can I help you?
You recognize this bottle? You know where it comes from?
Sorry. We have hundreds of bottles like this in the university.
Fine. I need to know what's in it. Any suggestions?
You need an analysis. Well, I'm sure someone from the Department of Medicine can help there.
I'm looking for Professor Westerbrook. You know where I can find him?
You're the one bringing him the specimen?
Specimen?
Never mind. He's in the Department of Medicine. Let me show you.
You have a good day.
Goodbye, sir.
Hello, sir. Welcome to Oakmont University Department of Medicine. I'm Samuel.
Charles Reed, private investigator. I have a few questions if you don't mind. You recognize this bottle? Maybe you could tell me what's inside.
That's one of our lab bottles. We have a lot of them. As for what's inside, I'd need to run some tests.
Could you do that for me?
These tests aren't cheap. And the other day, I could get right to it, but we're, somewhat hindered right now.
What's up?
Our lab is crawling with, well, creatures. Professor Westerbrook's research is a little unconventional, and something went wrong. Really wrong.
Isn't there some other lab you could use?
I'm afraid not. Our lab is the only one left in one piece.
Never mind. So, if I do a little pest control for you, you'll run those tests for me. For free?
Our budget is tight. You'd be helping the cause of science, Mr. Reed. Isn't that enough?
Oh, I guess science could help itself.
All right. Yes, you solve our problem, and I'll run the test for you. Off the books. Here's the key for the basement.
What kind of person would even touch this? Not to mention dissect it. I wonder what would happen if I press this button. Should I? Some serious equipment they've got here. Oakmont University is clearly well funded. I'm glad this thing is dead. Why do they even keep it here? So very tempting. Some serious equipment they've got here. Oakmont University is clearly well funded. Your lab is certified creature-free.
Excellent, Mr. Reed. You've done us a great favor. Now we can get things up and running again.
Your lab was, interesting. Running experiments on those creatures. What's up with that?
Oh, they're fascinating, aren't they? Convincing evidence of new branches in the evolutionary tree. Can you blame us for taking an interest?
Maybe not. But so much dead flesh down there, that's going to attract scavengers. Didn't you think about that?
Yeah, well, no. We'll be more careful in the future. Your point's taken.
Okay. I've done my part. Here's the bottle. Now you run those tests.
Yes. Wait here. It shouldn't take long. We finished that analysis, sir. It's ricin.
Ricin?
A highly toxic poison extracted from castor beans. It's slow-acting, but absolutely fatal to humans.
How can you tell if someone's been poisoned with ricin?
The symptoms take several days to develop. At first, it's like a common cold. But over several days, well, it develops into hemorrhage, internal organ failure, and death. It's not a pleasant way to die.
So, where do you get ricin? This isn't something you can pick up from a drugstore.
About that. It is rare, but we have a certain amount of it here. For study, in our poison store. Or we did. I'm afraid that must be where it came from. The label had been tampered with, but it certainly looks like ours. Where did you find it?
Crime scene. Someone was trying to poison a bunch of fish with it.
This is horrible. I need to warn everyone in the university about this.
There's some kind of cure for ricin?
I'm afraid not. Once it's in your system, it's a death sentence.
Who's got access to where the poison's stored?
Only Professor Westerbrook has the key. His office is upstairs, right alongside Professor Cavendish's. Professor Westerbrook's not here, though. He's been sick for the last few days. Professor Cavendish is away as well, on vacation.
Where do they live?
I'm not sure, but probably somewhere in Advent. Most of the teaching staff live there. Wait, you don't think it was one of them?
I'm working on that. Can you let me upstairs?
Well... all right. This is serious. I'll help you. Here's the key, but please don't disturb the professor's things.
I'd like to know a bit more about your professors.
What do you want to know?
I want to know more about Westerbrook.
He's the head of our department. He's been here for, well, at least 30 years. He's one of the longest-serving staff we have. As you've already seen, he's particularly interested in the wild beast that recently appeared in our city.
Yeah, that's quite the unique fauna you have there.
I've no idea how he did it, but Mr. Throgmorton's men brought him live specimens for his research. He thinks he's on the verge of a breakthrough in evolutionary theory. A secret that, once revealed, will benefit all humankind.
Some secret should stay buried, 6 feet under.
You're not a man of science, are you? It's not about why. It's about what if.
What can you tell me about Professor Cavendish?
He's one of the most brilliant teachers we have here. A PhD at only 25. Just imagine. His biochemistry studies are second to none, worthy of a Nobel Prize. If he could complete his work.
What's his problem?
I don't know. There's some kind of family trouble. It's made him standoffish and irritable, and easily distracted. I hope he gets through whatever he's going through. We need his talent, especially in these dark times.
I'll see you later. That door won't budge. These bottles look exactly the same as the one with the poison.
This should be good enough to make a decent copy.
Can you fill me in on ricin again?
Of course. What do you need to know?
I'll see you later. These bottles look exactly the same as the one with the poison. Hello?
Hello. Welcome to Oakmont University Library. Joy Hayden. Can I help?
Charles Reed, private investigator. I apologize for my bluntness, but can I ask you a question?
Mouth?
Yeah.
Punishment. Long story.
Again, sorry for me being so direct, but that can't be legal, can it? This looks like... it looks like torture.
Legal in Oakmont. Local custom.
Huh. I need to see your book catalogs.
Sure. Over there.
And that's it? No payment, no threatening, no favors in return?
No. Library public. Knowledge for everyone. Welcome.
Well, that's music to my, eyes. This city doesn't look like it has much need for books, except as fuel for fires. How come the library's in such good shape?
Mr. Throgmorton. Funds. Keeps everything in check.
Really? Huh. I wouldn't have thought that of him. I wonder why.
He says people need hope, entertainment, escapism. Now more than ever, can't imagine library without his help.
Bye, Joy. budge. The door won't budge. This Cavendish guy did an impressive investigation, and the EOD is in the center of all of it. And judging by the layer of dust on it, this ring hasn't been worn in a long time. So why keep it around? The door won't budge.
I loved you. I always loved you. I loved you. I always loved you.
This Cavendish guy did an impressive investigation, and the EOD is in the center of all of it.
George?
I don't care what your damn EOD cult demands, Anna! I thought the child was mine. Mine!
You will never understand our cause! My child is blessed by the sea! I'm leaving you, George!
Okay, let's see what we have here.
I don't care what your damn EOD cult demands, Anna! I thought the child was mine.
George, I can't live like this anymore. There's something I have to tell you. George?
I don't care what your...
You will never understand our cause! My child is blessed by the sea! I'm leaving you, George!
George Cavendish. Cavendish. He had a wife named Anna. She had a baby that was not his, but blessed by the sea and claimed by the EOD. This caused their split.
Who are you? What are you doing here?
Calm down. My name's Charles Reed. I'm a private investigator.
Right now, you look like someone who's breaking into my house. A burglar. Explain yourself.
No, Cavendish. Time for you to do some explaining. Care to tell me why you poisoned the fish at the EOD warehouse? And you better not lie to me. Oh, sorry. Is this making you angry? Yeah, two can play at that game, and believe me, I've got plenty of anger for the both of us.
How dare you?
I'm only going to ask politely once. Then my gun will do the talking.
Fine. Fine. Yes, it was me. But I had a good reason to do it. It all comes back to Anna.
Oh, this should be fun. What's your good reason for poisoning innocent people? You know the EOD are feeding the hungry, don't you?
No, that's exactly the problem. They're not doing it out of charity. They do it to spread their influence and recruit new members. Some of those initiates, as they call them, vanish without a trace. And not just them, they kidnap ordinary folks too.
And poisoning the fish would prevent this how?
Oh, you see, not everyone in this city believes in the EOD yet. They have opposition among the citizens, both rich and poor. A rumor of the EOD's fish being poisonous and several incidents would be enough to undermine the EOD by sparking fear and mistrust.
There must be another way to deal with the EOD. Like, if their crimes are that obvious, why don't you just go to the police?
They're resourceful, those sons of hagfish. They maintain a squeaky clean image, and they're good at it. I tried going to the police. They were no help at all. And I'm not suicidal enough to make it public and take them to court.
What's Anna got to do with all this?
As you might have already gleaned, she was my wife.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it all starts to come together now.
The EOD robbed me of her. It all started with the free fish. We were all short on food at the time, and then they hooked her with their nonsense about the benevolent sea and greater good. I looked past it for some time, but then...
She became pregnant.
Yes. At first, I was over the moon. But then one day she came to me, that snake, and told me that the child was not mine. She said it was blessed by the sea. That it was demanded by the EOD. Doomed take them! I couldn't stand it. I just couldn't.
So what's your next move?
I was interrupted and couldn't finish my task. The EOD received a fresh haul of fish, but now they're on alert and raised their guard. I understand I'm in no position to ask. But after reviewing all the facts I've presented to you, Mr. Reed, would you agree to help me?
What did she mean? blessed by the sea.
What do you think is the cause of Innsmouth syndrome in people?
Living in Innsmouth?
That cave-forsaken place has nothing to do with it. It comes from breeding with monsters. These sea creatures they call Deep Ones. They take our women and they spoil them with their seed. Then they give birth to degenerate fish-faced offspring.
Keep talking. Now, what is it you want from me?
Poison the rest of the fish. It's spreading, but it's not enough. The EOD trusts you enough to deal with me, so it should be simple for you. My agent inside the EOD reports that they've just received a fresh haul. That's your target.
You're a madman, Cavendish. You're willing to let innocent people suffer and die just to get revenge on your ex-wife. No, this madness has to stop. And I'm gonna put an end to it right now.
Oh, no, no. You don't understand.
Take as much as you need. It won't cost you a penny. Don't be shy. We have enough for everyone.
I found the poisoner and dealt with him. He won't be bothering you anymore.
See, bless you, Charlie. That's great news. Who was it?
Well, see, now that's the interesting part. It was your ex-husband, George Cavendish.
Oh. Well, that son of a rotten shark finally got what was coming to him. Good riddance. Still, it's strange. I never thought he'd have the guts to do something like this. He was always a pushover.
There will be loss. There will be darkness. And each of us.
You're taking this remarkably well for a woman who just found out her ex-husband was a poisoner.
He's nobody to me. The EOD is my family now. We serve a higher purpose than he could ever grasp. My life finally has meaning. You've done us both a huge favor by relieving him of the burden of his miserable existence. Well done, Charlie.
All right. No more messing around. Get me in touch with your Grand Poobah or whoever's in charge, now.
Easy there, Charlie. I'm a woman of my word. Go to the basement of the fish market. It's nearby. You'll find an innsmouther there by the name of Maurice. Tell him I've sent you. You'll get your answers.
About time.
Do you want a fishy?
And it is only fair to be afraid. Titanic forces are at work, infinitely greater than ourselves. Unknowable, incomprehensible. There will be sacrifice. There will be loss. There will be darkness. But these are the hallmarks of a pivotal moment in time. And each of us has a part to play.
Interesting speech. You really think there's an upside to all this?
Absolutely. The darker the day, the brighter we can all shine. And we will all shine again soon. All that's needed is faith. I am called Ebernote Blackwood, and this is the place I have chosen to share my message. Please, come to one of my full sermons.
Charles Reed. Good to meet you. Blackwood. You're a member of the Grand family.
I am indeed the last of that line, inheritor of an empty mansion and a severed history.